Hey kids, today our video is coming from the church library. You've been to the town's library before, your school library, but maybe you didn't know the church has a library too. But when you go to the library in town, like in Burt or Titanca or wherever you go to the library, or the library in your school, you go there to grow your mind. Maybe you read fiction books, to grow your imagination and your ability to read, or nonfiction books to learn facts about history or science. Well, here in the church library, we check out books and magazines here to grow our faith. These books are helping us to become smarter and stronger and better Christians, to know better who Jesus is, to know how to love our neighbor better, to know what's going on in the divine service better. All those things can be found here at the church library. And I've got just a few examples of books that you'll see here when you go in to our church library. So we have a ton of kids' books here in the library. Here's just an example of one, the story of David and Goliath. It goes through the biblical account, the historical account of David and Goliath. But it goes along with pictures and kind of simple words, so you younger kids, you'd enjoy maybe reading that alongside the biblical account. But then there's other kids' books besides just Bible stories told with pictures, like this series, for instance, which is actually down on this first shelf. These are kind of biographies of biblical figures. So this one is a biography of Luke, the doctor and writer. So it goes through and very simply tells you some information about who Luke is, why we remember him when we read Scripture, what to think about when we're reading Luke's Gospel and reading the book of Acts, which St. Luke wrote. And of course, there's many others. Now, for kids' books, we also recently purchased a whole bunch of kids' books that are right now in the church basement. So you can go down to the church basement and check those books out too. There's a piece of paper there that you can sign them out. And these are kind of newer published books, like this one here, Whisper, Whisper, learning about church, learning about what to do during the church service and some of the things and actions that we do there. But then here in the library, obviously for older kids and for adults, there's a lot for you too. So maybe more in the adult category, we've got study Bibles and theology books, kind of like this one, Lutheranism 101. It's kind of a guidebook to our Lutheran faith with different chapters about different subjects of the faith. So if you have a question about baptism, or about heaven and hell, or about resurrection, check out a book like Lutheranism 101 and you can find your answer. Or kind of deeper books like Heaven on Earth, The Gifts of Christ and the Divine Service, a very in-depth history of where our divine service came from and why it looks the way it looks today from the past 2,000 years of history. Here, I'll get you a better, there's a nice look at that. That's a shiny book. It's reflecting. But then also off to the side and up above, there's magazines that you can take and read. And the magazines over here on the sitting on the floor rack, you can just take home and keep forever. Those are just extras. Like the Lutheran Witness always has a great collection of articles about topics of the faith in our present day. Now, if you want to check out a book at the library, it's really easy. It's just like the library in town, although probably easier because you just kind of do it all yourself. So right when you walk in the door, if you look straight ahead where my phone is right now, there's a shelf. And on the shelf is a yellow basket like this. Every book in the library has a card. So you just take the card out, out of the front of the book. You put your name on it, the date you checked it out, and you just put it in the yellow basket. Now there's no cards in here right now because no one's checked a book out. So you could be the first in a while. Come in and check out some books. You can come in and check out 20 books at a time. It really doesn't matter as long as you put your card here so we know they're out. And then when you come back and you're done with the book, you don't have to put it away. There's also this basket here, black basket. You just drop the book in the basket, and then we'll record it, put the card back in, and put it away for you. So very easy. You can check out books as many as you want, as long as you want to keep them. Probably just a few months. Don't keep them a few years, otherwise other people can't use them. But there's so many books to go around. That'll be good for bedtime books, good for books about learning about the Bible, really all sorts of good times to read a book. So feel free to come in here anytime during the week, anytime on Sunday. You can stop in. You can read the books right here. There's a table here, or check them out and take them home. So that's the church library. Hopefully you can come in and check it out and check some books out and grow your faith here with all of these wonderful Christian resources.